All right, Nick, let's talk about the Oklahoma Sooners. I think head coach Brent Venables killed it this 2024 offseason. I think the Sooners are in a great place as they make their move over to the SEC. They've really started to build this team to be an SEC powerhouse. But I think this latest set of moves shows they're also thinking about the future and potentially making a really clever signing here. Let's get into the article and we can talk about it on the other side. This, of course, is from over on Sooners Wire. It says Oklahoma Sooners made a couple of offers today to a family that they're very familiar with. The Sooners offered Amari Saab, an athlete in the 2026 recruiting class, and his younger brother Xavier Saab also received an offer and is a wide receiver in the 2027 class. Brent Venables' familiarity with the Saab family dates back to 2022 recruiting cycle when Keon Saab committed to the Clemson Tigers in July of 2021. According to 24/7 Sports, Venables and Mickey Khan were the primary recruiters at the time. On December 5th, Brent Venables was announced as the next head coach of the Oklahoma Sooners. A day later, Keon decommitted from Clemson, ultimately landing at the Michigan Wolverines, national championship Michigan Wolverines. Keon entered the transfer portal on Friday after playing 2 seasons for the Wolverines at safety. Nick, I think this opens up a lot of interesting opportunities. I want you to explain this to us on the other side. But before we get to you, Oklahoma fans, let us know in the comment section below. 2024 season seems like it is wrapped up as far as the off season goes. I want you to let us know in the comment section below. What grade would you give Coach Brent Venables for this offseason? I think he's done a pretty good job so far. But let us know what you think in the comment section below. But Nick, what do you think about this latest bevy of moves by the Sooners?
Yeah, I think if Venables was hearing those comments from you, he would sit there and say, "Well, wait a second, don't give me a grade yet. Wait until I bring in Keon Saab as one of the star safeties to add to the defensive backfield before you reserve judgment." Because I think that's exactly the play Venables is making here, and I think it's a smart play. First of all, Keon Saab at Michigan, he's just a classic, versatile glue guy in that secondary. Michigan had a lot of great players, a lot of big names in that defensive backfield. Saab kind of fell under the radar a little bit, but he was a stud, could do a lot of different things. Turnovers, 2 picks last year for the Michigan Wolverines. So this is a guy who can be a big time playmaker, is a team guy. He's a selfless guy, allows other people to take the limelight when necessary. I think he'd be a perfect addition for this Oklahoma defense, again, as they make that transition into the SEC. And I think Venables is all in on getting him to come to Norman. And I think the tactical moves that Venables is making here, I think is a really smart way to really make sure that happens. He offered, obviously, the two Saab younger brothers. And now, look, it feels early, and of course it is. We're talking class of 26 and class of 27 guys. We don't really know how good these kids are going to be yet. Obviously, they could grow and become superstars. We'll have to wait and see, of course, as they play their high school football careers. But I think I really want to focus on what Venables really followed up with in terms of the Saab family. So when he was at Clemson under Dabo Swinney, of course, the Tigers were very vocal. And when it came to recruiting, talking about building relationships and family, saying, "Hey, listen, you come to Clemson, we're going to focus on your family relationships, everyone working together," talking about that all the time. Saab originally committed to Clemson, then turned his back on Venables, and Clemson went to Michigan, of course. Now, years later, Venables wants him to come back, but he's sitting there saying, "Listen, I know we recruited you and we talked to you about family a couple of years ago. I wasn't making this stuff up. We were being authentic, and I'm authentic now. I'm taking care of you, and I'm going to take care of your family, like I said, and I'm going to offer your two little brothers." And I guarantee you, Keon Saab's like, "Whoa, he wasn't lying. He was being 100% real. He was 100% authentic." And Saab's going to see that. The Saab family's going to see that. And you know who else is going to see that? All other potential recruits and transfer portal additions in the future as well. It breeds authenticity. It really gets people, all these recruits and transfer guys who I guarantee you at this point in the way modern college football is set up, look at everything they hear from coaches are kind of like, "Yeah, I don't really know if I believe you. You may be just trying to say whatever to get me signed on the dotted line, saying you'll take care of my family and that this program's all about relationships and stuff like that." Venables can now say, "Yeah, I'm the one guy who backs it up. I said that at Clemson. You committed to me, and then you left. You turned your back on me, but I didn't turn my back on my promise to you. I said I was going to want you to come with me. Now I want you to come to Oklahoma. And when I said I was going to work with you and your family, I wasn't lying. I'm going to offer your two little brothers as well." This is the kind of the smart moves, the authentic moves that I think breed long-term recruiting success. And while it doesn't look like much, it's stuff like this that in the long term helps the Oklahoma Sooners recruiting pipeline feel really, really solid. Look, there are going to be some lumps as Oklahoma transfers into the Southeastern Conference. Obviously, they're going to need some help in the defensive backfield because there's a lot of high-powered offenses promulgating through the SEC right now. But honestly, based on the strategy Venables is taking and his moves and his authenticity, I feel really good about where the Oklahoma program is at right now.
Yeah, Nick. And I think if we look at what Coach Venables is doing, he's taking the best parts of Clemson with him to Oklahoma and doing what we say teams need to do. He's bringing it to a 21st century, things that Clemson won't do that I think, quite frankly, has gotten them to the point where they are now, no longer close to being national championship contenders. You look at Oklahoma, he goes, he takes the themes from Clemson, faith, family, brotherhood, all of those things combined. Like we said, he offering the brothers, showing that he wants people, we're all together, we're working together. But also, he's involved transfer portal, something that Clemson really hasn't done a whole lot. NIL, something Clemson has refused to really get into. All of these things, I think Brent Venables has done a great job. And I think this specific example shows why he's been successful, just because he's able to blend that old school recruiting with the new school, transfer portal NIL era. And I think that's why Oklahoma has been so good. I think that's why they will continue to be good moving into the SEC. It's moves like this that can blend that old school, like, hey, we're all about family. We're all about brotherhood. We're all about taking care of everybody, but also going transfer portal, getting a guy in the transfer portal and say, hey, we're going to take care of your family. Really doesn't happen that often. You see these guys come in. It's more about a talent acquisition. Like, here's dollars, here's talent. We're trading dollars or we're trading opportunity to win for talent. It doesn't really have those, old school recruiting type metrics as far as we're going to take care of your family. This is brotherhood. We want to take care of you. It's more of, like I said, dollars, talent for wins or money. It just hasn't happened that. And that's what Brent Venables is doing. He's blending both things together very well. And I think that's why Oklahoma has been very successful and will continue to be successful as we go into the coming years.